Hi guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back again to the channel. It's Intentional Favor here. If this is your first time of coming across my video, thank you so much for clicking to watch this particular one, but please don't make it your last time. Click on the subscribe button to join the family. Also turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss out of any of my videos. And my returning subscribers, I love you guys so much. Thank you for always coming back. So in today's video, I'm just going to share with you guys how we realistically saved up to buy our first house in the UK. This is one question many people have been asking me, how we managed to save up. I'm going to split this video into two parts, okay? This one, I'm just going to give you guys some of the practical steps that we took that helped us to save. And then in the second video, which I'll release soon, I'm going to share with you guys, it will be like a story time, okay? A story time, and I would love to do this with my husband because we have a lot to tell you guys what we encountered, so you guys will know why we need to tell you guys this story. And of course it will be very, very useful for so many people because I've been getting questions around the scheme we use to save for our money. So without beating around the bush, I'm going to put it out here now that the first step we took, or one of the major ways that we were able to save up for our deposits, is a Nigerian scheme, or a scheme popular among the Nigerians, or should I say Africans, but I'm very sure that Nigerians do it a lot. It's a money saving scheme which every Nigerian or most Nigerians know about. And what I'm talking about is what the Igbos call Isusu, and then the Yoruba people call it Ajo. Yeah, I hope that's how it's pronounced, Ajo. I don't know, I'm sure different people call it different things, but popularly it's called Ajo or Isusu. Yes, that's how one of the major ways, that's not the only way, but that's the major way we saved off our deposits. And that's the part I'm going to tell a story, or me and my husband are going to tell a story, because there's a lot of, how do I put it now, there's a lot of contention or stuff, about saving up for your deposit using this scheme. And let's be clear, it's a scheme, it's a money saving scheme, just that it's not known to the part of the world where we live, yeah, but back home, that's one scheme people have been using to save money. There's a lot of arguments whether this is good, even apart from buying house or whatever, whether this is a good scheme or not. Yeah, I'm going to obviously we'll talk about this in more details in that video with my husband. I'm going to tell you guys how we managed to cross this hurdle, because so many things have been said about this scheme. What's it called? Lenders, they don't like it, which is true, yeah, they don't like it. But how did we navigate this? Because eventually we used this scheme to successfully buy our house. And mind you, we are not the only people. Before we did, we already had people who did it, and we did, but when it got to our own turn, we were stuck and almost regretted this, but we managed to overcome. And I'm going to share that story with you guys in another video. And like I said, I'm going to share that with my husband. So everything you need to know about this. But let me just say, will I advise someone to use this scheme to save up for their deposit? 100%. Yes, I will, but wait for that video. Then the second big scheme, or the second way we managed to save up for our deposit, was actually using Lifetime ISA. Yeah, we used Lifetime ISA. It's interesting how I've been living in the UK for some number of years, not so long, but for instance, I have a friend of mine who bought her house as well a few months before we bought ours, and she knew about this scheme. I was in this country before her, but she knew about this scheme before me. So that's why I'm putting out this video. I don't want to assume that everybody in the UK, because there are so many videos, okay, many people that have bought their house. If you watch videos of people buying their houses, so many people have talked about this LISA, but you never can tell which one someone will see. For instance, when I was discussing with my friend, she told me that she saw a video of a YouTuber about that scheme, and that's how she managed to put it. Well, I didn't see that video. Mind you, I watched this YouTuber, but I didn't see that video. It was either January of 2024 or December of 2023. That was when I saw another YouTuber who I started following when she announced her YouTube video. By the way, shout out to you, Pathway UK. Thank you. I know I've said it to you in your comment section that it was through you that I heard about Lifetime ISA. Yeah, and this my friend already opened Lifetime ISA for months, even up to a year before I knew about this. I don't want to assume that everybody knows about this scheme. It's very popular popular because you never can tell the video someone will watch and be convinced. Okay, what I'm saying in essence is that I'm going to talk about lifetime ISA. And mind you, this is not a financial advice. I'm not even a financial profession, okay? But this is me being realistic with you guys. I want to tell you guys everything that we use, okay? And I'm going to explain it in case you don't understand. So LISA is, or lifetime ISA is lifetime individual savings account. So it's a government scheme or a way of government to, like an incentive from government to help first-time buyers. So this account, you can open it, and when you open it, you can save towards buying your first home, or you can save towards your pension. These are the two things basically that you can do with this account. So in our case, we used it to buy our house. Yeah, we use it to save towards buying our first home. So lifetime individual savings account, you can save up to £4,000 in every tax year. UK tax year runs from April to April. So you can save up to £4,000 each tax year, and the government will give you 25% of your savings. So if you manage to save 4K, okay, within a tax year, then you get 1,000, which is 25% of the 4,000. Even if you're not able to save up to £4,000 in a year, not a problem. Any amount you save, they will still give you 25% of it. So if you manage to save 1K, they will give you £250 free of charge, okay? So we use that scheme. Like I said, I got to know about this scheme December, January, okay? Last year, January. And then as soon as I heard about it, I just told my husband about it. I said, we need to do this. We need to also use this to save, apart from just relying on the first one, which is Isusu or Ajo. So we opened the account in January of 2024, yeah, and of course, mind you, the tax year will be ending in April. We didn't manage to save. I didn't manage to save up to 4,000, yeah, but what I did, which also what my husband did, was to start, because another thing to know about this account is that you cannot withdraw. For you to be able to withdraw money, to take out money from that account towards buying your first home, you must have opened the account for up to 12 months, yeah, and already we are planning that we'll buy our home already. So we didn't want a situation whereby we will be stuck on the way, say, oh, let's wait till a certain time. We just open the account, which is something you need to do, okay? That's a tip for you. Open the account as soon as possible. You don't need to save up to 4K. Just put, even if it's £10, £50 in there, and at least the 12 months starts running, because sometimes house buying can be fast sometimes, you know, it can be very quick, just like ours. I'm going to still share all these stories with you guys in subsequent videos. Another thing to note about lifetime ISA is that if you withdraw your money, okay, for another purpose apart from buying your house or for your pension, when you've gotten to that age, you find out that you have a penalty to pay, and that's 25% penalty. So it's usually not advisable for you to take out money. See, don't put any money in there that you don't want to use towards buying your house, okay, because when you do, you tend to lose money, because 25% penalty fee or penalty charge will be applied to you. So if you're saving any money there, just make sure that that money is for buying your house and not just saving. You can't just withdraw from it because it comes with a cost. Another thing to know about this scheme is that the house you will buy must not be more than £450,000. Yeah, it must not be more than that. Also, for you to be eligible to open this account, you must be less than 40 years. So if you are 39 now and you're looking at buying a house in the next 2-3 years time, open the account now. Once you open it before you clock 40, you can start saving. Even if you're now 40, it doesn't matter. You don't enter, we say you don't enter. And then another thing to note is that when you're about to withdraw the money, obviously towards buying your house, the money will not be sent to you. So you can't do ojoro about it, okay? There is no ojoro. The money will be sent to your solicitor and it must be used towards buying your house. So don't say, oh, I'm saving it. Then when you need money and you want to buy a house at the same time, you can tell them, oh, I want to use this to buy a house. Nah, it won't be sent to you. Your solicitor will be the one to apply and the money will be sent to your solicitor. So when we opened our lifetime ISA, we opened it with Moneybox. This is not a sponsored video, but we use Moneybox. It's very easy to open. Just download the app and just do it. Straightforward, okay? Do it today. In case you plan to buy your house in the nearest future, my advice will be start saving now. And another good thing about this, like I said, is once you start saving, okay, if you manage, for instance, we're in a new tax year already, so if you open now, you have up until next year for you to save 4K, okay? And even if you don't save up to 4K, it doesn't matter. Just keep putting money there. It will be earning interest for Lifetime ISA. Apart from the 25% government bonus, they has also come with interest, okay, because it's a high interest savings account, so they also pay you interest for the money that you put in there. So this is a very good scheme which we use, and we saved a lot within less than 1 year, because like I said, we opened the account in January, yeah, and we withdrew it February of this year, yeah, so within 1 year. So we had 2 tax years, yeah, although we didn't maximize it because we were already saving with Ajo, yeah. And if you know what Ajo means, you know that money is also involved, so we saved little. But even if you don't want to use Ajo, I'm telling you, if you use Lifetime ISA, it's going to help you towards buying your house. It's going to help you a great deal. So these are the 2 major ways. So the bulk of the money came from these 2 schemes, okay. However, the money we used towards these schemes wouldn't have been possible if not for other practical steps that we took, which I'm going to share with you guys briefly. The first one obviously was we started building our credit card, okay. For instance, I'm privileged that my bank, Halifax, they have they work with TransUnion, which is also one of the companies that deal with credit score. So every month you get your monthly. You can just go to your app and check. In case you don't know, yes, if you bank with Halifax, you can always check and track your credit score with Halifax Bank, your app, and it's free, okay. And also Experian, I also subscribed free one just to keep track of what they have there as my credit score. I didn't pay for any other thing, but the Halifax one, of course, gives you a breakdown, tells you what affects your score, the next step for you to take. So we utilized that, and I saw things I needed to do. So we were bent on building our credit score. Obviously, building my credit score didn't really start from buying house. It was when I had an ugly experience when I wanted to buy my first car in this country, and I was denied. I couldn't get finance or a loan to buy the car because I came into this country as a student, and then I didn't understand all this credit system. I felt like, oh, I don't need any credit. I didn't live on credit, not knowing that this country is dependent on credit, and you need to have credit for you to have a good credit score. Yeah, so I made that mistake. So when I wanted to buy my first car, I was denied so many things. I couldn't buy my car off finance, and I need to rally around to buy the car cash because I needed it for my job, okay? So at that time, my eyes opened. Then the first thing I did was building my credit score, which you can do right now is to get a credit card. There are a lot of arguments again around this, but let me tell you, it's a good practice. Just have a credit card. It's one easy way to prove you have a good credit record, okay? When I got a credit card, I was not using it to just buy and buy and buy. Oh, my target was to use less than 10% of my credit limit, 10%, yeah. And at the end of the month, I don't just pay the minimum. I try as much as possible to pay everything. So all I did was that 10%. I don't spend above 10% of my credit limit, because mind you, I didn't get this credit card to be using to buy credit stores, okay? I just needed it to boost my credit score, okay? As soon as I got it, I would just use it to do my grocery shops. I wasn't buying anything major with it, and at the end of the month, I pay everything, yeah? So that's a good practice. Get a credit score. So many people, especially Africans, are not really like, they don't want credit because they don't want to live on credit, but you live in a credit-based country or whatever. I don't know how to put it. So getting a credit score will definitely help you. Second thing, obviously, that we did was also to register, to be part of the electoral register. So we registered. That's our address where we live. We put it on the electoral register. It also helps to improve your credit score. And of course, if you want your credit score to be great, you have to be up to speed, like with your bill. Don't miss any payments. Don't pay late, or your direct debit. Make sure that you know the days your direct debits are. It's best to put every direct debit after your pay date, okay? So if you are paid like on the 15th, make sure that your direct debit, when you want to set them off from 16, 17, 18, like 5 to 7 days after your payday, so that you are sure that money enters and then it takes, and not when towards the end of, maybe you now put it towards 10th, and then by then you might be short of cash or something. No, it's best to put it few days after your payday. So apart from building our credit score, we also made so many lifestyle adjustments. For instance, we've never gone on holiday. I know. I'm not so big on holiday. I love it. Okay, obviously I'm a Nigerian. All my life I grew up in Africa. There is nothing like going on holiday, family vacation, and I've never been married before. Okay, so this family vacation, my parents didn't, we weren't in that class of people that go on vacation or whatever. So it wasn't my thing. Right now, it's something I would like to give my kids, and my baby is just 1 year, about to be 2. So like obviously I know in the future we will do that, but at some point it was just like a thing, oh, let's go on vacation, but do we really have the money? We are saving and doing all of this, so we cut down on that. If you can afford it, go ahead, but we obviously didn't do all of this. I remember sometimes at my workplace, whenever I'm taking leave, I usually take 2 weeks annual leave at a go, and people will think, when you take 2 weeks annual leave, you are going somewhere. And the question my colleagues will be asking me is, oh, where are you going? Are you going anywhere nice? I say, oh, I'm not going anywhere, I'm just taking time off work. I'm like, yeah, I'm that boring, I'm not going anywhere. Eventually, when they found out that I was buying a house, they just attributed it to that. Say, oh, it makes sense. Yeah, you are buying a house, So yeah, just cut down on some, lifestyle, some spendings and all of that. And obviously now we can do that if we want to. No, not if, when we want to, because definitely we will. And then there's so many things I wanted to buy. For instance, you see DJI Osmo camera, Osmo DJI, whatever. This camera, even before it became big on so many popular Nigerian YouTubers, I've known about this. There is this Oyibo channels I watch. I saw them when they reviewed it, when it was just raining, and then I love this camera. I went on Amazon, saved it, and put it on my cart. It's still in my cart till this day, over almost 2 years now there. But I wasn't able to buy it simply because I can't afford it. So obviously there are so many things. If I tell you guys so many things I wanted to buy, but I couldn't buy them just because we are saving towards our house. So it's a sacrifice. I consider it a sacrifice, something you have to make towards, something bigger, okay, to achieve something greater. So you can always put aside so many things, you can always do them later. I remember also, for instance, so many of you know that we had an accident December of last year, and our car was written off. We needed to buy another car or more. That was another thing. When we wanted to buy that car, we had the option of going through finance and get another car, but we said no, we are not doing that. So we had to buy car cash, which is the downside is that part of the money we saved towards our house was what we used to buy that car, because cars were just for some reasons expensive, at least the good ones, the ones that will not give us any wahala, and we needed to buy it cash. So my point is, if you are saving towards your house, please avoid finance, avoid buying a car on finance, all this and collecting loan and all this. It will all affect your affordability. It will affect your chances of banks lending to you, how much they can lend to you, which will also affect you buying a house. Because if your monthly expenditures are high or way higher, or to an extent or close to your income, you find out that it will affect how much a bank will be willing to lend to you. And if they don't lend to you the amount that you can use to buy your house, then that becomes a problem. Okay, so cut down on finances, credit. That's why credit card is just the best for you. At least you have a good track record. Your bills also contribute. So if you put your bills on direct debit, your electricity bill, water and all of that, if they are on direct debit, they are all credit and they all contribute. So you don't necessarily need to take a loan or a car finance or something for you to improve your credit score. That's why the best practice for me is putting your bills on direct debit and then getting a credit card. That way you can always pay it off every month. Not forgetting that we made sure that we had a budget when it comes to the amount, like house that we want to buy, the maximum. We put a limit to it, okay? In as much as the bank said, oh, you can afford this, they can lend you this amount, we made sure that there is a limit to how much we want to buy. It shouldn't exceed this. Putting that also helped us because it didn't put so much pressure on us trying to save up so many deposits, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, these are the practical steps that we use to save up for our deposit. Yeah, and I hope you guys found it helpful. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, turn on your notification bells. Don't forget, in my next video, okay, I'm going to share with you guys story time, how using Isusu, how using the Ajo scheme, how it almost landed us into trouble, or how we almost lost money because of that. and how we navigated it, because like I said, at the end of the day, we still used it and we still know people buying houses. After we did it, the group where we saved money, people still bought house using that money. I'm going to share all this with you. Stay tuned for that video, but you have to turn on your notification bell so that you get notified as soon as that video drops. Hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, intentional favor here. Subscribe to the channel, give the video thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Until then, stay blessed, remain intentional, and take very good care of yourselves. Bye.